roll the clip. I just felt like we should do a sit down, get ready with me talk. I don't know.
Chit chat, get ready with me.
So I just got a lot of things on my mind, I guess you could say. Nothing that wild, but kind of just some health topics. I don't even know what kind of look I'm going to do today, but I'm going to use CoverGirl Outlast Active and this brush. I had my first dentist appointment. My last one was like a year and a half ago, and I just had one 2 weeks ago now. And I did not get good news, and it really irritates me because a lot of this stuff has been going on, and the previous dentist that I went to didn't tell me any of this information. So it was very frustrating, and I literally bawled my eyes out in the dentist's office and in my car after I left. And I was not prepared to hear all that. Like, I know my teeth are bad. I know I haven't been good about brushing my teeth. I did not think that it was this bad. They told me I have gum disease. I'm gonna have to get cleaning like underneath my gums every few months for the rest of my life. That is partly because I need braces. I know I've needed braces, but when I got the consult as a teenager, I was on medical assistance, and they said that it wasn't medically necessary, so I couldn't get them because my mom couldn't afford them. But fast forward, almost 10 years, they really are medically necessary at this point because I'm going to lose my teeth if I don't get braces. Like, it's not just a cosmetic thing anymore at this point. It's you need to get braces or you're gonna not have your teeth anymore because they're so close together and there's so many and they're so big that I physically am literally, it's impossible for me to clean them properly with like a toothbrush and floss. Even if I am like flossing and brushing multiple times a day, it's not getting the job done because my toothbrush and floss cannot physically reach those places. And my previous dentist did not tell me this. Why? Who the fuck knows? But it's really irritating because I could have gotten some of this taken care of a while ago. So yeah, I need braces, but that's the last thing that I need done right now. In like 2 weeks, I have to go to a consultation for a root canal. This tooth here, I think, which was the whole reason that I went to the dentist in the first place. I thought it was just a cavity, but no, it's a whole root canal. They were just going to do the root canal, do the exam, and then treat it, but then the endodontist looked at my x-ray and he said he just wanted to do a consultation first, which I'm not sure why, but it doesn't hurt right now. It was hurting like a few weeks ago, which is really weird that it's not hurting now. But I also need to get my wisdom teeth out because there are also extra teeth back there that are pushing all my teeth forward when they're already getting pushed forward by each other. And there's also a bunch of bacteria getting stuck up there where they're like breaking through the skin, and I can't clean that either. So those have to come out. And so it's just all this stuff. And I also have 8 cavities apparently, which I really don't know how you get 8 cavities in a year and a half. Last time I went to the dentist, I only had 4. That was after over 5 years of not going to the dentist. So it just seems odd to me, you know what I mean? It was just all that stuff. And then they go over all the prices with me. And of course that's just a cherry on top. I'm hearing about the cost of all this with insurance. I have pretty good insurance through my work. It's still a lot of money out of my pocket. Of course I can make payments, but it's still just it's a lot to hear at one time that you might lose your teeth. And we're gonna try and fix them, but it's gonna cost you a lot of money and it might not even save your teeth in the long run. Like, you still might have to get dentures one day. I don't know how anyone could not cry. Like, these are my teeth. Like, this is part of my face. These are what I eat my food with. Like, it's not just like, I don't know. It's a big deal to me. And my teeth have always been an issue, but now it's like a whole nother ball game. Like, I am brushing my teeth every day, I am flossing every day, I'm using mouthwash every day, and I'm using my water pick every day. So like, I'm going hardcore with it now because I do not want to lose my teeth. And they were shocked that the previous dentist did not tell me these things either. It's just really great. I just have to take it one step at a time. That's all I can do. I'm not rich, obviously. So basically, first I have to take care of this root canal, and then I have to get my wisdom teeth out, and then after that I have to get all my cavities filled, and then after that I get the braces. So the braces probably won't happen for like another year, just because I have to have a down payment. I'll probably use my taxes next year to do the down payment. Fun times. I'm using 3 different concealers because that's just what's working best for me right now. The Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, Revolution Conceal and Define, and e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Also, I've been having like really weird symptoms involving sugar. Like, this never happened to me before. But over like the past few months, every time I would eat like something really sugary, like cookies, cake, a can of pop, you know, things that are like really sugary. And I was eating these things every day, multiple times a day. And I'm like not overweight. Like, on the BMI thing, I'm like right on that line between average and overweight. I'm right on that line in between. I'm technically not overweight, but I do have like a pouch on my stomach that I've always struggled with ever since I was like 13 or 14. I've always had this pouch on my stomach, and there's no weight on me anywhere else. It's just on my stomach and like these little love handles. All my weight goes to my stomach, and it's like, ugh, it's so frustrating. Every time I would eat sugar, I would just get like really dizzy and really lightheaded and get like a high and then a really bad like low, like a crash. Oh my god, I have diabetes. And I don't think I have diabetes, but I really just need to stop with all the sugar that I'm eating. So for the past 2 weeks, I have cut out almost all sugar. I'm not eating cookies, I'm not eating cake. I'm cutting out pop completely. If I do have like cookies or cake or something, it's a very small portion and it's not every day. It's pretty hard to cut out sugar completely, but I got like a lot more healthy snack options for me because I am a snacker, and I'm not drinking pop. I'm drinking Propel and water strictly. I've not drank pop for like 2 whole years straight before, so like I know it's not an issue for me. It is a struggle, but it is something that I know I can do. Sugar literally is an addiction for me. Sugar has been my coping skill ever since I can remember. Like, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm bored, like, let's fucking eat. Like, and I'm pretty lucky because I haven't gained a ton of weight from it. But it started affecting my health, and that's like, you know, okay, this is the final straw. Like, we can't be doing this anymore. Like, you already got all these health issues. You really do not need to have diabetes on top of it. Like, just thinking about that makes me wanna just like go back to bed and sleep. Oh, I really don't need any more health issues. Like, I'm done with health issues. So yeah, this was the Maybelline Fit Me powder use it under my eyeballs. Max is getting new glasses because Keely has broke his multiple times, and he's just been fixing it with hot glue, and it looks absolutely ridiculous to have glasses and 2 huge chunks of hot glue on your glasses. Like, no. Girl, bye. Like, we need to get rid of that. So hopefully he can get those glasses that are like flexible, or he just needs to start putting his glasses in a spot where Keely cannot get them, because she's never broken my glasses. She's shown interest in like touching them and trying to get them, but she physically cannot reach them in the places that I put them, because I don't want her to break them, because I paid a lot of money for my glasses. Whereas he gets his glasses for free at the place that he's going. So that was the Rimmel Stay Matte powder put all over my face. And now I'm going to use the Natasha Denona blush palette, this one. It's so pretty. Like, I'm so obsessed. So I just want to know, like, do you guys got any health things going on? I feel like for me, for at least the last year, it's been constantly like, this thing happened, this thing happened, this thing's going wrong, this thing's breaking, this thing's not working anymore, this thing you need to replace, this thing you need to buy all brand new. Like, it never fucking stops. And like, I'll maybe get like 1 week of like nothing happening, like every now and again, but I swear to God, there's always something going wrong. It's really bad. I just went for my annual physical a couple weeks ago, and I've really been struggling with anxiety, like severely, at home only. I do not struggle with anxiety when I'm at work for whatever reason. I know it's the strangest thing, but I don't get anxious at work. I only get anxious when I'm at home. And probably about at least 80% of my anxiety comes from the house being messy. My daughter like screaming or throwing her fits. Those are the big things that cause my anxiety. Max has ADHD. Keely might have ADHD or, something. Pretty sure her father does, and her brother for sure does, diagnosed. So yeah, it's just hard because like I know that he literally cannot remember to like clean up after himself. And it's just like little things like that that build up and just like make me really anxious. And he does try sometimes. He could try harder, but like it's just one of those things where I just need to learn to like stop caring so much. It has more to do with me than it does to do with him, even though he could help out with it more ever since Max started working, because when he was at home, he was cleaning up like all the time when he wasn't working and like staying home with Keely. He was cleaning up all the time and he was great about it. So I think he's just also really exhausted from working those 10-hour days and then, 45-minute drive to and from work, Monday through Thursday. It still bothers me, and I just need to learn to get over it, like, because it's not worth all the anxiety that it's causing me. But my brain tells me that it is. Like, my brain tells me the house needs to be perfect at all times or something bad will happen. Something bad will happen to me, something bad will happen to Keely. Like, Keely's gonna get taken away because the house is dirty. Like, I don't know what it is in my brain that needs the house to be like clean all the time, but I don't know. It's becoming a big issue, and I brought it up to my doctor, and I am now on a depression anxiety med for it. I haven't been on meds for a long time, since like late 2016 is when I got off Cymbalta, and I had been on that for several years. I just got off it because it really wasn't doing anything for me. But over this past year, my anxiety has killed me. Like, it's pretty bad. But I'm really thankful that it doesn't affect me at work. Why that is, I couldn't tell you, but I'm really thankful that I'm still able to work. So I started Wellbutrin XR. I've been on it for like 2 weeks now. I don't really notice a difference. At times, I feel like the edge is slightly taken off, and sometimes like I feel a tiny bit zombie-ish, but sometimes it's better to feel that way than to feel so many emotions like all the time. I don't know if I'm bipolar, but like my mom is, and it's very possible that I am. I'm just not like diagnosed. There's lots of times where I felt that I very possibly might be. You know, and that kind of has to do with the anxiety. And I feel sometimes like rage inside me, but like it comes out as like me crying usually, rather than like me yelling or like throwing things or, you know, whatever. It almost has never gotten to that point, and when it has is when you need to just back away and leave me alone. So yeah, that's something that I'm struggling with. I really hope that these meds can help me. I feel like I've always been that kind of person that feels so many emotions to their absolute fullest every single time, all day long. Like, I just feel everything so intensely, and it's always been that way, and it's probably always going to be that way. And I feel like, you know, the zombie effect that some meds have will probably help just to like make my mind calm down, because I feel like my mind is always racing and it's always just like thinking the worst things, and it's overwhelming, and it has never been this bad before. My daughter is getting a lot better with her behavior, but she does still struggle with being told no and, you know, following directives and stuff like that. I'm just struggling physically, mentally, emotionally. I'll be okay. I wouldn't really say I'm suffering, but I am definitely struggling. I don't usually get very depressed, and if I do, it's because I feel stupid for, you know, putting so much thought into little things that don't need that much thought. Like just getting upset at Max for, you know, leaving his trash out or not putting his clothes away. Like, I don't know why it just makes me so angry sometimes, and it never used to be that way, and for some reason it is now. But I'm working on it, and I'm not just pushing it under the rug like I kind of have been for the last year. I'm doing all the steps that I can do to improve whatever this is that I'm going through. And that's the best that I can do right now. And I'm not ashamed for going back on meds. Obviously, no one wants to be on meds. Like, it's not cool to be on meds, but it's not something to be ashamed of either. And in the past, I let my ex make me feel ashamed for being on meds when in reality, he's the one who should be on meds. Just saying. I do have a lot of trauma and a lot of healing left to do still from that relationship. I don't really like to talk that much about it anymore because, like, I feel like sometimes the more I talk about it, like, the more I'm just bringing it up. You know, sometimes you need to just move on from things and stop letting it bother you so much. Talking about it is fine, but there's like a point where you just need to stop talking about it. Otherwise, you're prolonging the healing process and you are just kind of making it a little bit harder on yourself. And I had to learn that the hard way. Like, people literally had to tell me, like, okay, I've heard all these things that you're telling me before. Like, you've already told me all these things that he did. Like, I don't need to keep hearing it. Like, I literally needed to be told that to, like, stop talking about it. I'm never gonna fully heal from the things that he did and the things that he said, but I am a stronger person from it. You know, that's just how it works sometimes. I don't know when the camera cut off, but kind of going on a little rampage. Basically, what I was saying is that I like the person that I am today. I'm a good parent to my daughter. He likes to take credit for a lot of my accomplishments when it was me that accomplished all those things. Yeah, he encouraged me, but in the end, I did those things on my own. I studied for the driver's test, I passed the driver's test, and I passed the written test on my own. That had nothing to do with him. Like, sure, anyone could encourage me to do those things, but ultimately, the reason why I did them had nothing to do with him. It had to do with my daughter. Everything I do and everything I did to better myself was only because of her. It was not for me, it was not for him, it was not for anybody but her. And if it was not for her, I might not be where I am today. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my makeup. I just put on this kind of purpley gray color here. That kind of upsets me when he tries to take credit for everything that I accomplished. Like, I got my GED, I got, my full-time job that I've had for almost 2 years now. What? Like, no, that had absolutely nothing to do with him. I got my own place, I got all my own furniture, I bought my own car. I got rid of the one that he had given to me just because it was triggering to drive something that so many bad memories came from. But yeah, I bought my car all by myself, all my money that I earned. Girl, boo. Just try and take credit for any of that. Like, really try me. I'm so proud of myself and all the things I did for me and my daughter. Like, she would not have the life that she has now if we were still together. That was an abusive relationship, and I will be damned if she will be in an abusive household with an abusive parent. Move on to my dog. I paid for my own dog too. Like, take credit for that? I don't think so. Yeah, Max and I got a dog in August, shortly after we moved into this house. Love this little dog to death. He is a Cocker Spaniel mixed with a King Charles Cavalier, and he's called a Cockalier. He's 5 years old. He did not have any health issues when we got him, except that he was overweight. But a few months into having him, he developed a autoimmune disease that affects his skin. He will get like crusty patches on his skin and on his paws, on his nose, on his eyes, and it's really awful. And he suffered for probably like 2 months because the vet here in town just, wasn't familiar with that thing. They're just like normal vets here. They finally sent us to a dermatologist because they were just like, we don't know like what this is, but it could be this, but we're not really trained in this, so we're gonna send you here to the dermatologist because they will know what this is and they can test for it like immediately. So that's what we did. The dermatologist is 2.5 hours from where we live, so just that in itself is a 5-hour drive, plus the usually like 1 hour appointment. Each visit is anywhere from $300 to $500. The first month he went like 2 or 3 times, and then since like January 2nd, I think it was, gone like once a month. So the cost has gone down, and he has gotten so much better with the meds that they put him on, all these steroids and stuff. And it's just a really awesome transformation to see and be a part of. It's just awesome, and I'm so glad that he's getting better. I love this dog to death. Max doesn't really like him that much because he has like an eating problem where he's always hungry. And that's not his fault, but that gives Max some anxiety, and he kind of resents the dog a little bit for that. He still likes the dog, and he's the one that takes the dog to these appointments, so he obviously doesn't hate the dog. But I would say it's kind of more my dog. So this is the Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo in Soft Brown. This is the only brow product I've used for like years. I've not tried a new thing because I just love this one. Like I said, I've been at this full-time job for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years at the end of May. I'm a youth counselor at a horse ranch for teenage girls who are struggling, and I love my job. Like, I love beauty, and I always wanted to, be a hairstylist or, makeup artist or something, but kids, like, is my true calling, even though my daughter is the devil and she irritates me. Of course, flexitarian on the inner corner. You guys have known, as long as you've watched me, I always gotta have that white highlight on the inner corner. I will probably do this as long as I live. I don't really like to be like super matte anymore. I really like that kind of dewy, glowy business, but I still get really oily. And I have started to get like eczema around my nose and under my chin, but I found some really good products to help with that. This is the e.l.f. Illuminating Mist and Set. I have to hold it like way out here because this thing sprays far and intense, and it'll fuck you up if you spray it like right here. Ooh, girl. I can't decide if I want to do eyeliner or skip eyeliner. So, yeah, that's my life right now. Keely got tested for autism a few months ago. Developmentally, she's perfect, and she's so smart. She just has social and emotional concerns. Like, she really does not like understand how to express herself and what she needs and what she wants. She hates being told no. She absolutely still throws a fit at 2.5 years old. She screams, she'll hit and kick, throw herself on the ground. Sometimes she'll like hit her belly really hard, just cry, and she does not like to be alone ever. The only time she can be alone is when she's sleeping. Even if you're in a different room, she can't be in a different room. So obviously that's a struggle. Hopefully it'll kind of, go away as she gets a little older and, goes to school and all that stuff. It's not awful and it has gotten better, but it still definitely needs work, and she's going to be reevaluated in a couple months because she will be in a new age bracket for evaluations. And then she'll also soon be moving into the next daycare room. The daycare that she goes to has different rooms for different ages. It's like a center. And people have asked me, why don't you just have her, go to a, regular daycare or something. I prefer her going to a center because she does need that extra help, and she does need a lot of that one-on-one time. And a single daycare provider probably would not be able to provide that. I wouldn't say she's special needs, but she is a special girl. I mean, all kids are special, but she's definitely different. If you know her or have spent time with her, you would agree that she's different. For right now, she's getting the help that she needs. Granted, she's only 2.5. There's only so much help she can get, and I don't want to put her on meds until she's diagnosed by a professional with something. I really don't agree with just putting a kid on Adderall when they're really not like diagnosed by like an actual psychiatrist or therapist or something. Further steps should be taken before medication, like counseling, behavior therapy, those steps should always be taken, and medication should be a last resort. Obviously, no one wants their kids to be on meds, at least I certainly don't. But if that is what needs to happen, then I will support that decision. So I finished my mascara because this stupid camera cuts off after every like 20 minutes and it doesn't like notify me, it just like stops. It's really awkward to film because I don't do it like nearly as frequently as I used to. So it's kind of still awkward for me, but hopefully I can get back to where I used to be with being comfortable with filming and not so many awkward pauses and ums and forgetting what I'm talking about. That's really it. Next week I'm gonna be getting a haircut. My hair's gotten like so long. Like, look how long this is already. That video that I did where I cut my own hair and dyed it purple last summer, or like last late spring, I think. It has grown so much since then. Like, I think I cut it to like here and it's already grown like this much. And this is like partly curled, so like it's really long. Really long. But I want to get it cut short again because like it's not doing what I want it to do anymore. That'll be a nice little surprise. I'm getting it colored and cut. I'm not doing my own hair anymore. I'm just not doing it. Like, I can afford to get my hair professionally done now, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Let me know what topics you want me to talk about or talk more about topics I talked about today. And yeah, bye.